Because there's almost one in every class that gets kind of confused with that. Okay, so that's kind of the new content for today. I'm going to go over the Sandbox challenge, and then I want you to spend a little bit of time actually doing the Sandbox challenge, working on it in class. This is going to be a little bit new, and it uses something that we'll use throughout the class called the turtle. And the turtle is, anybody ever use like Scratch, Microworlds, Logo in class when you were younger? Anybody familiar with those? Okay, so a couple of you vaguely familiar with those. Those are programming languages that are intended to be good for teaching people about math. And the turtle is based on, the Python turtle is based on one that's very old. It's called Logo. It goes back into the 1970s. And in those days, the turtle was actually a programmable robot that was like this big. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of the actual turtle. Let me see. Seymour Papert turtle picture. Here it is. This is the dude who invented it, and that's the turtle right there. His name is Seymour Papert. He is uh, one of the most profoundly intelligent learning theorists there ever was. Okay, recently passed away. Really amazing guy, but he invented this. He thought it would be really cool if I could teach kids about math by making it something that's kind of fun and playful. And so this was a robot that you could program, and you put it on a giant piece of paper, and the robot would follow the instructions that were given to it by the kids and draw these little pictures. And they said, well, that's cool, but it's not really scalable. I can't do that for a class of like 30 kids all at the same time. So they created a turtle that was virtual. And the turtle is something that we can use in Python. Now, it does open up another window. Sometimes that window pops open behind PyCharm when you run it, so pay attention to that. But if I look at this code, and it actually says in the instructions, copy and paste. So I'm going to copy and paste this code. Okay, so the first line, line 1, says import turtle. All that means is that I'm adding a library or a module, an additional thing to Python called turtle. It's more code that allows me more functions and commands. Then I'm creating a turtle called my turtle. And you can see on line 4, what does it look like I'm telling the circle to do? Just guess. Make a circle. How big is a circle? 100 somethings. We don't know what it. We don't. And honestly, it's just 100 like turtle units. It's not really. It's not 100 inches or centimeters or pixels or anything like that. It's just kind of 100. We could call it pixels, but it's not really. So make a circle the size is 100, and then the last two, 6 and 7, all that does is it keeps the window open. If I don't have those, it'll open a window, draw the circle, close the window. You won't even see it. It may be just a flash on your screen. So it'll keep the window open until I click on it. So if I run this, and I warned you, it opens a window in the background. There's my circle. There's my turtle. If you poke around online, if you prefer an actual turtle shape for the turtle, you can turn the turtle into a turtle shape. Some people already figured that out on the Sandbox. You can look at their code and figure it out for yourself. You can draw all kinds of things with the turtle, but you can, for example, bless you, you can make the turtle go forward, bless you again. So if I say my turtle dot forward 100, my turtle dot right dot 90, that would be 90 degrees, my turtle dot forward 100. If I run that, okay, it goes forward 100 degrees, or forward 100, then it turns right 90 degrees, and then it goes forward 100. Now, what would I have to do to draw a square? I would have to repeat those same instructions, right? It would turn right again, go forward, turn right again, go forward. And that would close the square. So that is how this is used to teach kids about math. I'm going to use this to teach you some basics about Python programming in a way that's a little bit more fun. So there are instructions. You'll see this is how a sandbox looks. It's kind of like read a little bit and then do the next thing, read a little bit, do the next thing. And it'll walk you through how to use a variable to make it easier to draw a square. Now, when you're done, you're going to take a screenshot of what you did. Now, we've got some overachievers in the class. I will warn you. Actually, to me, this is completely understandable because every time I get something that's a little bit creative like this, I immediately start thinking, like, what else could I do with this? And so you've got people drawing houses and people drawing stick people and people drawing hearts. Some people get very creative. Okay, so there's the actual turtle. Looks like a turtle. And people share their code here, and that's kind of the fun part. This person did. Anybody have a spirograph when you were a kid? Oh, I love that thing. So satisfying. You could do that with the turtle. So many different designs. But people are just kind of playing around and posting screenshots. But the main point of this is when you get to this part here, what you'll see is you've got a command where we are instead of, let me get rid of that. Instead of having a number in here, we've got a variable. And if I define that variable, int side equals 10, then I can easily change the size of my square. Well, heck, let's just make it a whole square. Okay, 4 sides. And so now I have a little baby square. And now if I change the value, what you'll see here, if I change this to 200, that means each side is going to be 200 because every time it sees this, now it's going to take 200 out of that container and put it into that forward command. So when I run this, now I get a big square. Okay? So that's kind of the process that sandbox will walk you through. And this is sort of like the minimum level of thing that I would like you to post. But you're always free to play around with other commands after that. And the reason that I have it so that people post screenshots of their code and their pictures is because I want you to be able to see and learn from each other as people experiment and get creative. Maybe it will inspire you to experiment and get creative as well.